Recap every Monday during the season, and we always try to give you a Belichick cut to have some fun with it. Because laugh, it's funny. Let me hear Belichick completely after this game. Listen up.
Just wasn't quite enough against a good team like Philadelphia, and give them credit. Coach Peterson, his staff did an outstanding job. It's a great, highly competitive game, but in the end, we just couldn't quite make enough plays to come out on top tonight. And it's disappointing, but proud of the way our team competed. Those guys are champions of the AFC. They earned that, and we just came up a little bit short tonight. So it's a tough way to end a lot of really good things that happened this season. But that's what this game's about. So. No. Yes.
What was it, though, that the Eagles did that made Rowe a better fit for what you were trying to do defensively?
We put the players out there and the game plan out there that we thought would be the best tonight, like we always do.
That's Butler.
The Eagles played great offensively, everybody. So Foles played good, the backs played good, tight ends, receivers. I mean, they all had big plays, offensive line. It's a good offensive team. Played well, scored whatever it was 40 points. So did a really good job.
What did you see on these kids post-game? What happened there?
One we had trouble with the snap.
Special teams.
Yeah.
What made the Eagles offense so difficult defensively?
They did a good job. They did a good job all the way around, everybody. That plays out all their skill players. Quarterback played well. They had a good design. They kept us off balance. Offensive line played well. We weren't able to get enough pressure on the quarterback. Just give them credit. They did a great job.
Disappointed that you guys weren't able to make those second half adjustments that you usually make?
Of course, it's disappointing to lose this game. Yeah.
What was the thinking behind the trick play to Brady, the pass to Brady in the second quarter? What did you guys kind of see there? What were you looking for in that play?
Brady pass.
Convert on third down.
Was there something that you were looking for in the Eagles defense that you saw that you thought you could screen that for?
Yeah, it's the same play they ran against us, and he's wide open. We just didn't do it.
Good. I mean, they can't hear the questions properly, but, not as bad as Again, it's not that kind of loss. What are you going to do? I mean, they've won 1 million Super Bowls. I mean, eventually you're going to lose one. You play all these close games. One day the ball's not going to bounce in your direction, and that's kind of what happened during this game. And, I think the Patriots seem to have that right approach. This is not a 16-0 losing to the Giants, and not the second time to the Giants. I mean, they've been at the other end of this 1 million times. I mean, they got beat in a very close, tight game. Chopper in Michigan, he's with us here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Chopper, good afternoon. How are you today?
Good afternoon, C-Dog. Got a couple questions about Lions hiring Matt Patricia that made it official today.
Right.
What do you think in light of, like Steve Spagnuolo struggling in St. Louis, Romeo Crennel struggling in Cleveland, Jim Schwartz not that long ago struggled in Detroit. What do you think the chances Matt Patricia can?
Good point. Good point. You just mentioned 3 good defensive coordinators who were not successful recently in spots. I don't, listen, they've been high on Patricia from day one. Kind of reminds me a little bit last year, Chopper, of what the Niners did bringing in Shanahan after Shanahan imploded in the last 5 minutes of the Super Bowl. And he was in a tough spot there, and he's turned out to be looks to be a good coach. Patricia's defense imploded in, really for 60 minutes in this Super Bowl, so that could be a tricky press conference. But the GM has loved them forever. They go way back down to the Patriot Day, Bob Quinn. So, I mean, I have to expect that, it might be a little uncomfortable, Patricia, answering those questions. See, the problem with those press conferences now, when you're in Detroit, you got to ask about the Super Bowl. I mean, he's going to do a press conference this week, and if you're a Lion beat writer, how the hell can you not ask him, Matt, what happened to the game? Why didn't Butler play? What happened? Did you think they were touchdowns? And how come no pass rush? How come Foles played so well? What happened on the touchdown play before the half when Foles caught the pass? I mean, you got to ask these questions, and it's tricky. They had to ask Shanahan the same thing, and that's what he's going to get in a couple days, I can guarantee it. Peter in Boston, Mad Dog Unleashed. Pete, good afternoon. How are you today?
Doggy, I'm great, man. Hey, I love your passion. I want to just go over three things. The first thing I just want to say is congratulations to all the Eagles fans out there. This was a phenomenal football game, a great game to watch, being a Patriots fan for years. And I just really think it came down to the Eagles, they did it. They formed a team mentality, us against the world, went out there and made the plays they had to make. And I give him credit. I give Peterson credit. Everybody was counting this guy out. He's a quarterback whisperer. He crafted that offense to what he needed to do to get it done for that guy that everybody wants to talk about right now until his next year is done, and where's he go after that? But he was the MVP for a reason. He won those 3 games. He was learning what to do when they would play the Raiders. So that's the first thing I want to say. The Patriots lost. The Eagles won that game. That's the first thing.
100%. No argument. Second thing, what's the second thing? Go ahead.
Second thing is, these Giants fans that are calling in, stop disrespecting the NFC East right now. Shut up about the Patriots. Congratulate the Eagles that put it on you twice this year, that were 13-3, 17-3 with the Super Bowl win, okay? And stop talking about the Patriots. Shut up, Giant fans. Go away.
The Giant fan. Now, see, the Patriot fan hates the Giant fan because they beat him twice, and the Eagle fan doesn't want to hear from the Giant fan right now. So I do get where you're coming from that standpoint. One thing I want to say, this was not a great football game. All right? You have to have a little defense in the game. This was a fun game. This was an exciting game. This was now, everybody, now we're at the point if we have a good football Super Bowl, and we've had a lot of them lately. When the Patriots played all these close games, so they're a big reason why. Any game with Brady is never bad. But, I mean, we're at the point now where every game we get in the Super Bowl is the greatest game we've ever seen. This game, they played no defense in the game. This was a horrendous defensive performance. And I like offense as much as anybody, but you got to have a little defense in the game. There was one punt in the game. One. You got to have a little defense in the game. A little. The game's got to have a little better well-roundedness to it. So the idea now that this is some epic, I can't believe I watched, what a football, this was not. Good game, exciting game, good ending, no argument. But this was not an epic Super Bowl. An epic game on any level needs to have a little something to it with outs, it's like a baseball game that goes, that Philadelphia-Toronto World Series game in '93 was not an epic game. It was one of the worst. I was there every pitch of that game. The 15-14 monstrosity. I mean, that game stunk. Now, a lot of people love that game. I never did. Now, I did like the Astro-Dodger game, but I also heard a lot of people scream and yell about 5 hours and 28 minutes on Sunday night in Game 5. You got to have a little defense in the game. There was no defense in this game yesterday. None. Zero. None. Steve Torrey's in the house.
By the way, a great point you made about the post game. I did the same thing. I must have gone back and forth for about a half hour. NFL Network, ESPN, trying to find something from the losing locker room. I got a little bit of Gronk, which was interesting.
That's all you got.
Right? And then there was about 15, 20-minute gap before I heard anything from Belichick or Brady. How is that possible?
A terrible job.
It drives me crazy.
I don't know what these directors think. These directors think we want to see. I understand you want to put the athlete, Land Johnson, on the set, and you do this and you do that.
How many times can we hear how great it is that you won a Super Bowl?
Exactly right.
It drives me nuts.
And in this case, it's almost, the thing about this case was, the city of Philadelphia was the story on their end. Not the players. It was the city winning a title. And the story on the other end is Belichick and Brady.
Right.
And we didn't get any of Belichick and Brady for crying out loud.
It took forever.
Oh, it's terrible. I went to bed after a while. I said I'm frustrated. That's why I played the Belichick press conference. I didn't hear it last night.
I've told you a million times that the more compelling stuff is out of the losing locker room.
Always
best locker room / clubhouse I ever worked was 2001 when the Yankees lost to the Diamondbacks because the team was breaking up and they were better after all. I mean, it was compelling. I mean, how many times? Oh, how does it feel? How many? Yeah, okay. I want to see Foles celebrate. It was a great story. Blah blah blah. But enough. I got to get the other stuff.
Absolutely right. 100%. And they do it. And I'll tell you right now, how come Berman is good enough to show up on Super Bowl Sunday? Yet we jettison him out to Maui for the 16 previous weeks. I do not understand that. If you don't want him on your set, he's not good enough to do primetime Sunday for the 17 games. Why the hell are you bring him back for the Super Bowl?
Did they have an explanation for that, by the way?
Special events he's going to come back for.
So that was already predetermined.
Right, yeah. Predetermined.
See, I didn't even realize that. So he was due to come back anyway?
Well, they didn't announce it. And Steve Young's got no presence on that TV. I've said that for 1,000 times. Moss is better.
Moss pretty good.
Yeah, Moss is too excited about that Hall of Fame. And by the way, good for Terrell Owens making a Hall of Fame. And Jerry Kramer, for that matter.
That's right. Your buddy.
Yeah. So, but regardless of that, very disappointed with the post games. Very disappointed.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And NBC shoes you off to NBC Sportsnet. If you're going to disrespect the game that much to give me this next stupid show that I don't care about, I'm not going to go to NBC.
That show does very well in the ratings.
Well, everybody for women's show, I get it. But an extra 15 minutes, people are going to wait to watch it. I'm not going to NBC Sportsnet. All right, I'm not doing it. If you can't keep me there a little longer, I'm not running over to see Liam McHugh on the NBC Sportsnet. I'm not doing. And by the way, everybody at NBC is just unbelievably annoyed that they have to get on a plane today to go to Seoul to cover those asinine Olympics. And I know that. I saw about 20 of them in the airport.
They're not happy?
On Friday night, and they were moaning and groaning that I got to spend the next 3 weeks.
Who did we see at Bruce Beck? He's got like 29 straight days.
But all of them, they can sit there and tell me about the Olympics all they want. You made a good point. Nobody can. We got enough Olympic coverage last night to last a lifetime. With all the, God, we saw everybody.
Not a lot of interest on my part.
Oh, God, no. But anyway, I could tell you that at the airport Friday night, I saw a lot of people who had no interest to go to the Olympics. None. Zero.
That's a long way to go to be away for a long time.
Yeah, especially if you're going to go cover a hockey tournament and the NHL players aren't playing.
Yeah, that actually is some. I mean, if the United States does well, at least it's different.
Oh, I can't get
it's into a little more intriguing to a degree.
That's to me.
But I have had.
That's watching the JV play.
Yeah,
that I can't watch.
But still, I have had, and there's some former NHL players, but I know what you mean. But I've had, virtually, we've talked about this. I've lost my interest on the Olympics years ago. Just for whatever reason. Right. Can't quite pinpoint.
Now, the game itself, great, good, let me hear.
No, not great, entertaining, but you're right, there's got to be some defense, you know what I mean? It's got to be.
No defense in this game. And the other thing that hurt the game last night a little bit, it was no, outside of 1 2-minute stretch, there was no back and forth who leads, who doesn't lead. Patriots, the Eagles led the whole game.
I mean, I've unlike the Jaguar game and even the Falcon game, even though it was 28-3, I felt all night, even when the Patriots took the lead, I still felt like the Eagles were going to win because there were just too many signs there that pointed that, it might not be their night. They screwed up the extra point. They had the bad, those 2 touchdowns that weren't reversed. Usually they go in their favor.
Who said that? Who said that all last week? Who said that all year?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Who said all year that there was going to be a game here that for whatever the reason, Tennessee wasn't good enough, Jacksonville didn't have the quarterback. Who said that there was going to be a game that they were going to lose based on the whole thing?
One Christopher Russo.
Thank you.
But didn't you have that feeling like the Eagles were the better team all night? I really felt they were going to win.
Yeah, I felt the same way. 100% felt the same way.
But it was highly entertaining.
I did not stay. I did not stay at all. I did not go to the pregame. I did not pay attention to it. So a couple little things I could not get into the pregame. I saw John Harbaugh a couple times. I
watched a little of it, but I didn't get a great feel for it.
I did not watch the pregame, and I did not watch a lot of the halftime either. Now, I heard he didn't do such a great job.
I guess everybody was down on him. I mean, I thought he was okay.
I mean, I don't know anything about it. Justin Timberlake can sing in my backyard. I don't know.
You draw the blinds.
Well, I don't know the songs. I mean, so
they complained about the sound.
Oh, people complained about
that was the big thing. The mix was off.
Oh, what?
They couldn't hear him.
Were they also complaining that he didn't bring somebody back? I mean, was it that whole thing with Prince? And I mean, I know he honored Prince, but wasn't there talk that he didn't have other people
Well, they were
sort of accompany him for these some of these songs.
The Prince thing. The rumor was they would be a hologram, and then someone said
they were down
Prince
on
people were very down on that, and they scrapped that idea last minute.
Is that what they did?
No, they kind of put up a picture of him.
They put a picture of him.
Yeah.
I did not watch the halftime. Did you watch the halftime?
I had it on. Yeah,
I saw Peterson. Well, I mean, you sit and watch it. Is my point.
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, I did not.
Yeah.
I saw Peterson interviewed at halftime, but that Belichick, I'm assuming, was not interviewed at the half. Correct?
No, they just had Michelle Tafoya
Tell
say
us
that
what he said.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Which
And by the
gave
way,
you nothing as usual.
Cook's injury did not cost him the game. When you have three receivers, I heard that all day. When you have three receivers who all had 100 yards receiving, Amendola did.
I watched them
Gronkowski
have 3 straight drives where they weren't stopped, so they look fine to me on that. In the second half.
So Cooks, I mean, it doesn't make a difference who the quarterback, who the receivers are. Edelman, Cooks, it doesn't make any difference. No, Gronkowski, it doesn't make any difference. They're too good.
But that was probably his attitude when it came to Butler. That we have interchangeable parts, we'll figure out a way, and maybe his stubbornness cost him this time. I don't know. I don't think they would have won the game had he played.
That's a Steve. Well, they may have. It was close enough. That's a Steve Torrey theme for tomorrow. Get him home.
You'll walk in. What'd you do? I think I'll piggyback.
Sports by Stevie on Mad Dog Unleashed.
Mad Dog Sports Radio.